Castellon, can you hear us? I can.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Just gotta wait one more minute.
1 minute.
Okay, we're good.
Okay. I call the May 26th, 2026 Connect Transit Board of Trustees meeting to order at 4:30 p.m. Clerk, call the roll.
Trustee Bianchi,
Present.
Vice Chair Buchanan,
Here.
Trustee Cravens,
Here.
Secretary Foster Caruth,
Here.
Board Chair Howe, Trustee Rao,
Present.
Trustee Sanders,
Present.
City Manager Jurgens,
Here.
and City Manager Reese.
Here.
Thank you.
Thank you. We please stand for the pledge of allegiance. Trustee Cravens, we do the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And Trustee Bianchi, read our mission statement, please.
Absolutely. Connect Transit provides safe, reliable transportation and access to opportunity to strengthen and enrich individual lives, our community, the economy, and the environment.
Thank you. And on to item B, a safety moment from Dave.
Yeah, just a brief moment here to talk about electrical safety, because electricity is our friend until it isn't. If you're gonna be operating a generator, and that's something we have to experience today out here, you wanna make sure that if you're using extension cords, you use cords that are rated properly for the equipment that you're operating. Make sure you don't operate generators in your areas where there's poor ventilation. Never use indoor extension cords outside. And if you are gonna have a generator, make sure you've got a manual or preferably automatic. This is the part of the presentation where I forget what I'm gonna say. Transfer switch. And that's to help protect people so that if you've got linemen who are working on down power lines, things like that, if they get that connection back up and running, it doesn't backfeed through the lines and cause harm to them.
Do we have just one generator here? Are there multiple per building?
We have one very large generator that's capable of operating everything on the property, with the exception of the charging equipment for battery electric vehicles.
Thank you, David. Clerk, do we have any public comments?
No, ma'am.
On to item F, the consent agenda. I need a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. Linda Foster moves, second. Alicia seconds. Are there any questions? We do have a motion and a second. If there are no questions, clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Bianchi,
Yes.
Vice Chair Buchanan,
Yes.
Tyler Cravens, Trustee Cravens, excuse me. Secretary Foster Caruth.
Yeah.
And Trustee Rao
Yes.
and Trustee Sanders.
Yes.
Thank you.
Move on to new business, item G. Lowercase a. I need a motion to authorize the Connect Transit Board Chairman to execute an employment agreement with the selected candidate for the position of Chief Executive Officer. Chairman Foster Caruth, motion, and I'll give out a second. Thank you. As you all know, you have the memo in front of you from Julie. Our candidate selection, as everyone knows around this table, was Grady Lang. We are just delighted. Congratulations, Grady. Certainly observed, was in a field of a number of people who were also very interested in the job. So we're just delighted that he just kind of rose to the top, and we're glad to have you on board in this capacity. He's already taken on, trying to sign up to applying to become at the leadership group. That's something annually that's done, and we look forward to have the opportunity, if not this year, or sometime in the near future. Just so you will know, a press release will go out at the very end of this meeting to all, a very, very robust media outlet list, as well as there is a statement that will go out via email, Janice,
Mhm.
to all of our staff who had not. So that everybody is on board. Do I have all that? Any comments from our board?
Oh, yes. Congratulations to
Yeah.
you for you with opportunity to interview other candidates and, you came out on top, you spoke very well and the work that you've been doing has proven that people are looking. So thank you for what you're doing and I wish you the best of luck and anything that the board can do, we want to make sure that we can assist you. So thank you.
Anyone else?
I will say congratulations as well. We talked, especially with you helping me out in my transition. So I am very excited for you here and me being one of the newer ones in the group here, I am excited to see what you bring to the table and see whatever else I can learn from you as well. But yeah, just like with trustee Foster Cruz said, like, we're here for you to depend on and help out as well. We want everything that we do as a collaboration to be successful. So again, congratulations.
Anyone else?
I feel that it is a right fit without any gap. Continuation as well as right candidate. Congratulations. Already I said it last time, but your communication with the board has been excellent, so I won't repeat all that, but done a great job with the board communicating. We all feel bought in and know what's going on here. And you've just driven a lot of forward progress on the initiatives too, and the top priorities for the organization in your interim role, and we really appreciate that. And I'm very excited to have you on board for the permanent role.
Okay, anyone else? Well, and the partnership, I think we've done such an excellent job of really ensuring and enriching our partnerships throughout the community and in this house especially. The comment about the work with the board has really been very, very, very impressive. So thank you for that. I think we all look forward to continuing on this journey with you with them. Seeing no more comments, we have a motion on the floor to authorize the Connect Transit Board Chair to execute an employment agreement with the select candidate, who is Brady Lang, for the position of Chief Executive Officer. Clerk, can you call the roll?
Trustee Bianchi,
Yes.
Vice Chair Buchanan,
Yes.
Trustee Cravens,
Yes.
Secretary Foster Caruth,
Yes.
Trustee Rao,
Yes.
and Trustee Sanders.
Yes.
Thank you.
Next item, G, lowercase b. I need a motion to authorize the Deputy Managing Director to say that / CEO to execute a contract with Ken's Oil Service for the purchase and delivery of oils and lubricants for a term of 3 years with 2 one-year options. Do I have a motion? Foster, and second? Second, thank you. Now, Brady?
All right, thank you, Vice Chair Buchanan. And to present this recommendation, I'm going to ask Ashley Strupek to discuss this solicitation.
Thank you. So we'd like to authorize it, Deputy Managing Director, CEO, to execute a contract with Kent's Oil and Service for the purchase and delivery of oils and lubricants for a term of 3 years with 2 one-year options. Historically, Connect Transit has contracted for these products and services to lock in preferable pricing without being subjected to market fluctuations. So on March 2nd of this year, Connect Transit released an invitation for bid, seeking bids for purchase and delivery of these miscellaneous oils and lubricants. And this is not including gasoline and diesel fuel. We received 3 bids. And with this solicitation, it does allow vendors to request a price change every 180 days due to market changes. And so due to the increase in cost of oils and lubricants, the top bidder decided that they could not hold their price for 180 days and therefore withdrew their bid. So as a result, staff is recommending the second lowest bidder for contract award. And so Ken's Oil Service has submitted a letter stating they will hold their price for the first 180 days. And so the financial impact is projected to cost $56,997.65 each year, according to expected annual usage. And all goods and services provided by this contract are accounted for within the FY 27 operating budget.
Trustee, do you have any questions or comments? Seeing none. We have a motion on the floor to authorize the CEO to execute a contract with Ken's Oil Service for the purchase and delivery of oils and lubricants for a term of 3 years with 2 one-year options. Clerk, will you call the roll?
Trustee Bianchi,
Yes.
Vice Chair Buchanan,
Yes.
Trustee Cravens,
Yes.
Secretary Foster Caruth,
Yes.
Trustee Rao,
Yes.
and Trustee Sanders.
Yes.
Thank you.
Item G, lowercase c. I need a motion to authorize the CEO to execute a contract with Bridgestone Americas, Inc. for tire leasing for a term of 3 years with 2 periods of 2 option years. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
I'll make a motion.
Okay. And second? Second. You got that, James? Thank you.
Foster, second, thank you.
Brady? Turn it over to you.
Thank you, Vice Chair Buchanan. And similarly, I am going to turn this recommendation over to Ashley to discuss.
Thank you. So I'd like to authorize the CEO to execute a contract with Bridgestone Americas for tire leasing for a term of 3 years with 2 periods of 2 option years. Traditionally, Connect Transit leases tires to secure favorable pricing and avoid market fatalities. So leasing tires offers greater flexibility compared to buying them. So on March 4th of this year, Connect Transit issued an invitation for bid for tire leasing services. We received only 1 bid. And so the procurement department contacted other prospective bidders who had not submitted proposals to inquire why their reasons for non-participation. I did receive 2 letters talking about why they did not, and a lot of it was unfavorable timing, a limited pool of tire vendors, and also the duration of the contract term due to the influx of pricing. They did not want to bid. And so the total cost of this contract with Bridgestone for 5 years is projected at $491,676.47. And this tire lease cost was approved in the FY 27 operating budget.
Trustees, do you have any questions or comments?
This is for a 3-year contract though, right?
Correct, with the option years, yes.
Okay, what did I hear you read about 5 years though? Bridgestone offered,
With it, so that was for the full, like if we want to do the optional years.
gotcha. Thank you.
Other comments, questions?
I did ask when these tires are not made in normal, but
I'd
yeah,
ask.
at least I still feel good about us supporting a local manufacturer. If they ever want to change that, maybe make those tires in normal.
But they don't make anything that we can use, I'd assume.
It's too big of stuff.
Too big. I think
Yeah.
it's got some big ones out there, yeah. Okay.
I was thinking maybe the big bus tires, but there you go.
That'd be a big bus. Okay. Seeing no more comments and questions, we have a motion on the floor to authorize the CPO to execute a contract with Bridgestone Americas for tire leasing for a term of 3 years with 2 periods of 2 option years. Clerk, will you call the roll?
Trustee Bianchi,
Yes.
Vice Chair Buchanan,
Yes.
Trustee Cravens,
Yes.
Secretary Foster Caruth,
Yes.
Trustee Rao,
Yes.
and Trustee Sanders.
Yes.
Thank you.
Continuing on, D lowercase d, I need a motion to authorize the CEO to execute a contract with Ken's Oil Service, yeah. See that? For the purchase and delivery of diesel and gasoline fuels for a term of 1 year. Is there a motion? Trustee Rao, second, trustee Foster Cruz. Keith Brady,
Thank you, Vice Chair Buchanan. And similarly, this is another standard operating contract, and I'm going to ask Ashley to present this recommendation.
Thank you. So we would like to authorize the CEO again to execute a contract with Ken's Oil Service for the purchase and delivery of diesel and gasoline fuels for a term of 1 year. So Connect Transit will issue 1-year fuel supply contracts at the start of each fiscal year. Multiple year contracts are currently not used because the fuel market conditions are difficult to predict more than a year in advance, which would increase bid prices. So we do this each year. On March 16th, we released an invitation for bids, seeking these bids for purchase and delivery of diesel and unleaded gasoline, and we received 3 bids. And with that, Ken's Oil Service was the lowest bidder for gas and diesel. And so the anticipated fuel costs over the next fiscal year will be $1,119,452.80, which is within the amount approved in the FY27 operating budget.
Trustees, do you have any questions or comments for Ashley?
It's just a quick question, and I'll show Ashley, the number here says, and what you spoke was 1,119,000, this is 1,199,000. So.
It was the 100, yes. So it is 1,199,000. My table's correct.
The tables.
My financial impact.
Thank you.
Anything else? Clerk, can you call the roll, please?
Trustee Bianchi,
Yes.
Vice Chair Buchanan,
Yes.
Trustee Cravens,
Yes.
Secretary Foster Caruth,
Yes.
Trustee Rao,
Yes.
and Trustee Sanders.
Yes.
Thank you.
G lowercase e, I need a motion to authorize the CEO to renew Connect Transit property and casualty insurance effective July 1st, 2026 through June 30th, 2027. Need a motion and a second. Trustee Rao, motions. Trustee Sanders, second. Brady?
Thank you, Vice Chair Buchanan. So as many of you know, each year our insurance broker goes out to seek bids on our behalf for all of our property and casualty insurance. We've done the same thing this year, and we're just going to present our renewal, and I'm going to ask Pat Keeber to do that.
We'd like to authorize the CEO to renew the Connect Transit's property and casualty insurance effective July 1, 2027 through June 30th, or July 1st, 2026 to June 30th, 2027. This renewal covers the following insurance coverage: workers' compensation, property and equipment, general liability, and employee benefits, employee benefits, automobile, umbrella, directors and officers liability, and employee practices, fiduciary liability, crime, cyber liability, and business travel accident. The premium for the workers' compensation insurance will increase $69,660 this year. This is due to the proposed increase in payroll in FY27 compared to FY26, which is based on the projected additional service next year. The final cost of the workers' compensation insurance is audited each year and will be adjusted based on the actual pay. Premium for the automobile insurance also increases quite a bit. It's almost $60,000 increase, and this is due to an increase in the vehicle count, including the 2026 Gilligs and the expansion of service in McLean County. There's a table on the second page here, and the total cost of this renewal is $1,158,408, which is $140,046 increase over last year. This increase was anticipated and was included in the FY27 operating budget. And we have Keith Robolinski from Marsh MMA on the line to answer any questions that you guys may have.
Keith, can you hear us? Keith, is there anything you'd like to say before we open it up for questions?
Yeah, so just thank you for having us on the call this evening. I think Patrick was correct in that I think a lot of this is derived from increases in exposure. The market just overall in the marketplace. On the casualty side, we are seeing a bit of a continued increase of a hard market based upon loss experience and certain concerns with certain exposures. On the property side of the house, we are seeing a decrease in rate on on the property insurance, but definitely a softening of that market. The really two big drivers here for you are your workers' compensation and those payrolls. But I will say that I'm very pleased to say that the experience mod has gone down from 102 to below a 1 mod, which is really good. And I think that has a lot to do with the staff working with our claims advocates and getting claims closed or getting reserves reduced, and also some larger claims over a 3-year period falling off in the calculation of the experience mod. And then on the auto, as Patrick said, you do have some increased vehicle counts as well as some increase in values of some of those vehicles. But overall, I think this is a good renewal considering considering what's happening in the marketplace.
Thank you. Questions
Question?
from trustees? Oh. Good to see that experience going down, and thank you and everyone here for helping making that happen.
Can I just ask them, based on the experience and you've been with us for a while, what is it that we can do that could reduce or lower the cost?
Great question, ma'am. I would say you need to continue moving in the direction of reducing your experience mod, which means that we need to not only decrease the severity of our workers' comp losses, but also decrease the frequency of those claims. And so I think the role that David plays in the risk management and the work that he and his team have done in working on risk management and loss control, I think is really, really important. I think the other area is really just kind of just watching the vehicle counts. I know that there may be some further adjustments on those vehicle counts, but that's part of your process and the growth of your transit system. So, but I really do think that it's really the workers' compensation is really the key area. Yep.
So just to speak a little bit to that, so that experience mod, seeing that go down, that is a direct result of Dave's hard work in managing those claims and things of that nature. And I think the other thing that we're talking about with workers' comp is it's in direct correlation to the proposed additional service that we're talking about bringing online. So while it is an increase in insurance cost, I think it's for good reason, because we're going to provide additional service to the community and therefore insurance costs go up. And similarly to vehicle counts, we need vehicles to provide that additional service. So, we're trying to do the things that we can to manage that insurance cost, but I think it's going up for the right reasons. If that makes sense.
Sign off with them. There are no further questions. Having no more questions or comments, we have a motion on the floor to authorize the CEO to renew Connect Transit's property and casualty insurance effective July 1st, 2026 through June 30th, 2027. Clerk, will you call the roll?
Trustee Bianchi,
Yes.
Vice Chair Buchanan,
Yes.
Trustee Cravens,
Yes.
Secretary Foster Caruth,
Yes.
Trustee Rao,
Yes.
and Trustee Sanders.
Yes.
Thank you.
Move on then to G lowercase e. I need a motion to approve a contract with Connect Transit's current healthcare insurance provider, Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois, for a term of July 1, 2026 through June 30th, 2027. Do I have a motion? So moved. Trustee Foster Cross and Trustee Sanders second. Brady?
Again, thank you, Vice Chair Buchanan. So similar to the last insurance recommendation, this is just the annual renewal of our health insurance. And I'm going to ask Stephanie Butler to discuss this with you.
One, I would like to ask to authorize the Deputy Managing Director for our CEO to approve a contract with Connect Transit's current healthcare insurance provider, which is Blue Cross Blue Shield, for the term of July 1st, 2026 to June 30th, 2027. I do have our insurance broker, because there's a lot of changes that we would like her to go over our new plans in here. So Denise is on the line to help answer.
Thank you.
Or So the initial renewal with Blue Cross Blue Shield was approximately 30%. We did negotiate it down to 27%. Obviously, that's still a large increase. So the Connect Transit team and the MMAT, we came up with, I think, a pretty good strategy. Right now, there is one plan in place, and it pairs with a company called Nonstop Health. So we are still going to continue to offer that. There will be a little bit of back-end exposure. Previous year, there was no back-end exposure on the out-of-pocket. This year, with the offering with Nonstop Health, there'll be a 2,000 individual exposure, back-end exposure, and a 4,000. So that was one change that we made. And then we are going to still continue to offer the high deductible health plan which is paired with Nonstop Health, but employees will have the option not to have Nonstop Health as to be paired, but instead to be paired with an HSA account. And the Connect Transit has agreed or is proposing to fund the HSA $3,000 for individual, and $5,000 for family. So employees will get the option to be enrolled in a high deductible health plan, and then the HSA partially funded by Connect Transit, or they could have that plan with Nonstop Health, and then the HSA option wouldn't be available to them. And then the dental was moving from Mutual of Omaha to Blue Cross Blue Shield because there was bundling discounts on the medical of 2%. So that helped to move that as well. We did want to actually note that our short-term disability, long-term disability, life, AD&D, as well as our vision will stay with Mutual of Omaha for the FY27 renewal. For the financial impact, the total increase for health insurance is 49% for the FY27 renewal, down from the projected 30% increase that we budgeted for. So this increase was anticipated for our approved FY27 operating budget. Question?
Yes, questions?
For the 17%, she had mentioned it was down to 27%. Is that perhaps just for the health premium piece? The memo says 17, but she had said 27%.
So that was the initial renewal.
Initial renewal
Yeah.
was 27.
And then, so that would have been if the plan was exactly the same. So Blue Cross's initial bid was 30% increase, and then they negotiated it down to 27 before we looked at any change in plans, right?
That's correct.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
And the other thing to note is it's hard to assume where people are going to land. So we just assumed the people that were on the HSA, which is about 23 people, are going to go into the HSA this year. But if it does increase, then that reduction will go down quite a bit.
And does it also include, you said, health and dental, does it also include eye care?
That's correct.
Further questions or comments? Seeing no more, we have a motion on the floor to approve a contract with Connect Transit's current healthcare insurance provider, Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois, for the term of July 1st, 2026 to June 30th, 2027. Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Trustee Bianchi,
Yes.
Vice Chair Buchanan,
Yes.
Trustee Cravens,
Yes.
Secretary Foster Caruth,
Yes.
Trustee Rao,
Yes.
and Trustee Sanders.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Item H are committee reports. Do we have any committee reports to share this morning? Mark, we really haven't met, but. And we had, in terms of, I'm sorry, marketing and management, messaging. We've had a little bit of a delay in the process. We haven't informed us, so we're going to get that, so. Finance?
There's nothing, no, yeah, I'm, we got to do it on the,
Kind of all holding. Operations planning.
I'll see by you.
Right. Board chairs report, and our board chair could not be with us this evening, but really, on behalf of Julie and myself, I want to thank the board, for, giving of your time and your talents, really in such a remarkable way. We have an engagement, we have a partnership, now we have participation that is probably, really the best I've seen in this board and many boards, so thank you for that. And thank you for those early morning meetings as we were into our process. We blame, but we can all be forgiven for getting you there by 7 a.m. So just thank you for that. And we look forward, Julie and I, and with Brady, look forward to just continuing a really great story here for Connect Transit. Chief Executive report.
All right, next slide, please. All right, so my monthly update on the Downtown Transit Center, again, design is continuing to progress. We are expecting the 90% design package due on June 5th. So that's next week. Still on pace to reach 100% by July of this year. And now we're kind of to this stage of this project where we're beginning to discuss the more detailed design elements such as camera layout, signage, and the technology that goes in the boardroom and things of that nature. So kind of at a different phase of the project, but it's also equally exciting because now we're starting to see what it's actually going to look like. We've got an upcoming meeting with the City of Bloomington Project Review Group. That is this week. So this is an opportunity to run it by several departments within the city that will be doing permitting and things like that for the project. So really getting a first, actually, this will be a second look at the project and getting feedback from them if there are any design changes that we need to make as we progress from 90 to 100%. Our consultant team is beginning the work on coordinating with utility providers for the property. We're working through with Ameren to make sure that we have service at the property. And we've had some initial discussions with IDOT to begin coordination with them to ensure that the bid documents that we deliver are delivered in a manner that allows for their quick approval. As I've shared all along, often IDOT takes several months to approve some of our procurements. So that'll be a critical phase of this project to make sure that there are no further delays. So we're trying to get ahead of that and meet with IDOT staff to make sure that we're kind of delivering a package that's ready and easy for them to review. Next slide, please. Just some other updates. Several of you know, last month's board meeting, we presented an informational item for several proposed service changes. We have scheduled public engagement sessions, which I've shared with all of you, also on this slide. So encourage, you to attend if you're able, or, anyone that might be interested in these changes, these improvements in many ways to the service to attend these sessions and provide feedback. We're also pushing these out. We've put out a press release to share these. We're pushing them out via social media with more details on the precise changes that are proposed. And we'll consolidate all of the feedback received during these sessions and share with the trustees prior to the June meeting in which we plan to make a final recommendation. An update on the fare collection rollout. We're in an exciting phase of this project. The equipment is scheduled for installation beginning next week. So this will be a very visual indication that changes are coming, which is, and we'll capitalize on that. Once we've done the initial installation and validation, we'll issue a press release to share the exciting news, remind folks that changes are coming, and then we'll begin targeted phased rollout of that, encouraging folks to download the app, start using that to pay, and then, as I mentioned, we'll bring changes out in phases. So we're not trying to do everything all at once. Last week, we had a nice visit from the IDOT Capital team. We don't often get an opportunity for them to come here and visit. So, most of the time we're communicating with that team over email or Teams meetings. So there's a nice chance for them to bring their entire team out. We were able to share, discuss grant closeouts, discuss upcoming projects, and share updates that we're working on. So it's a really nice chance to get to do that with their team. They intend to do quarterly meetings via Teams and come out annually for a visit like that. So I think that'll be a nice cadence and an opportunity for us to share share the good and the bad, and hopefully get their buy-in on trying to move some of our projects forward, maybe more quickly. Next slide. Federal updates. So I've been updating the board over the past several months about the surface transportation reauthorization. Last weekend, the weekend before last, the Build America 250 Act was released from the House T&I Committee. It has bipartisan support and was passed the House T&I Committee. That act includes several legislative priorities that we've been supporting, some of which we may have been one of the initial agencies to bring these forward. NEPA reforms are some of those. So it'll allow for a categorical exclusion for bus stops and shelters. As you know, we've done several bus stop improvements throughout town, and we had to do a NEPA process on every single one of those. It took considerable amount of time. So included in this act is allowing those stops to be considered a categorical exclusion, and also minimizing some of the documentation required for that categorical exclusion. It'll also help streamline the historic preservation review. So that NEPA process, I'm sure some of you have experienced it before. It could be very timely and very costly. And so, moving those things through more quickly will help get projects delivered more quickly. There are some other regulatory reforms, such as capitalization of software as a service. So that would allow us to go seek grants to pay for software as a service rather than including them as an operating cost, as we've done throughout the budgeting process recently. There are also reforms looking at streamlining the triennial review process. Some of you may remember, every 3 years, we have a fairly in-depth review from the Federal Transit Administration. So there's some concepts of kind of really focusing on things that are either common problems on reviews or our past issues that they've experienced. And then they are also proposing bringing the availability of bus formula funds, moving that to a 5-year period of availability, which brings it in line with our operating funds. So those are all things that are several transit agencies across the country are excited about and looking to bring forward. Funding that's included in the act, 5307, which is our operating funds. There are modest increases in that funds. The first year is about a 10% increase, but then the subsequent years is only about a 1.6% increase. So, that doesn't likely keep up with inflation. So we're just keeping an eye on that. I will say, the good news there is that there was a lot of concern about funding decreases. So, stable operating funding is certainly a welcome news from the T&I Committee. Bus discretionary, as you know, we rely heavily on these funds for bus replacements, facility replacements. That has seen the anticipated decrease. We knew that was coming. The low or no emission grant program is basically going away, which is about a 42% reduction in those discretionary grants. Again, it's not a surprise. And hopefully there will be some changes along the way. Obviously, we are advocating with our federal delegation to continue to make revisions to that. And then also importantly, the STIC allocation has increased, which was supported by us. So STIC is an important component of our federal funding, and that carve out in the 5307 program is actually proposed to increase, which would be a big benefit to us. Next steps for this bill, it would need to clear several additional House committees. It would need a full floor vote in the House and bicameral negotiations with the Senate. So that's just really a way of saying that we don't really anticipate this moving forward this year. It's really gonna kind of get late in the year, but the good news is by seeing this draft and negotiations are going to take place, it's a good first step in this process, and it's a good signal that we're not seeing transit funding really drawn back. It's a good first step, and so we'll stay engaged in this process as it moves forward, and we will make sure the board is aware of changes as it progresses. And I'll share with you some of the memos that really takes that 1,000-page bill and distills it down to just a few pages that you can read to understand a little better.
this really underscores the contract we have with PPC.
Yeah.
They've got their eyes on this year long with their organization on us.
And I would say, our friends at Cardinal Infrastructure have been, very engaged in this process and actually have really helped write a lot of this language. They have advocated heavily on our behalf and their other transit partners, to really advocate for the things that we need. So, they are an invaluable asset and boots on the ground in DC for us. And that's it. Finally, I would just like to say, thanks to all of you. I appreciate your trust in me to continue to lead this organization. It's been an interesting few months here, and we've partnered together. It's been a wild ride, and I'm really excited. We've got a lot of great things happening, and I'm very excited to continue to get to lead this great organization. We've got a wonderful team, strong union partnership. So I'm just very excited to continue this work. So thank you, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you don't have.
Questions? Trustee comments? Let's go around. Trustee Foster, Rob.
I just want to say that, we appreciate you taking this leap of faith with us. And, had opportunities to, there from time to time, I see Brady out. But to go all the way to Springfield to see him. So appreciate you getting out and being a light for the transit. Thank you. Yeah, we ended up being in Springfield for Advocacy Day. And I ended up seeing him and Pat. Yeah.
Congratulations, Freddie. Yeah, you are doing a great job by reviewing the documents well in advance and countries in the form of countries. And not many questions over here. That's great. Good job. Thank you.
Trustee Sanders? That smile says it all.
Yeah.
Look, I'm excited to see what comes down the pike, so I just realized that I just completed my first year on the board, so yeah, I'm just excited to see what's going on. Congratulations again to you and working with everybody else and trying to make this go forward.
Trustee Tyler?
No further comments from me. You do that.
Trustee Bianchi?
We're just commiserating over the temperature in here.
It's fantastic.
It never just does.
It's great.
I don't mind if it's.
I do a few layers on.
Yeah.
But I do want to say that I feel like we're turned a corner a little bit, 2026. I mean, we're gonna hit the 6th month of the calendar next
Yeah.
week, and that just blows my mind. And the fact that you've been here a year, that
I know. That year
time just goes so fast. But seeing the numbers earlier about the transit station getting to the 90% design phase is exciting. And so the momentum is definitely moving forward, and it's exciting. So, and excited to see the next 6 months of the year, what we're gonna accomplish there, so.
And the word opportunity comes to mind. We've had so many and we have taken such good advantage of them. And everyone here in this room, our staff involved with your support, really taken great advantage and turn it into probably a financial success. And so I anticipate we'll continue that. We do not have an executive session. I need a motion to adjourn. And a second.
Second.
Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, we are.
Got a roll call, yeah.
Trustee Bianchi?
Yes.
Get out.
Vice Chair Buchanan? Vice Chair Buchanan?
Yeah.
Trustee Cravens?
Yes.
Secretary Foster Caruth?
Yes.
Trustee Rao?
Yeah.
And Trustee Sanders?
Yes.
Thank you for letting me turn everything off.
Have a great evening, everybody. Thank you.
Oh.
Excellent.
Yeah, thank you.
I got that deal.
Yeah. Oh, really?
I couldn't sit.